The Bible did say, "I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, you are my son. Today I have become your father." Psalms chapter 2 verse 7. In the verse mentioned, notice it says, "He said to me." This means that the speaker was retelling what has been said to him in the past. It is inexplicable to say, "He said to me," but it is yet to be said or declared to him. But if this phrase, "You are my son, today I have become your father," was a retelling of what has been said to him in the past, making the second person already a son before incarnation. Is it possible for it to happen again so that it can also be prophetic? The answer is yes. For this reason, Hebrews chapter 1 verses 5 to 6 repeated it saying, "Or again, I will be his father, and he will be my son." And again, when God brings his firstborn into the world. Therefore, what happened to the Son in the past was destined to repeat, thus becoming a prophecy that was fulfilled when the Son was incarnated, and was proclaimed as Son in the resurrection, which can be read in Acts chapter 13 verse 33. Comment, like, share and follow for more. Subscribe also to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. In Acts chapter 13 verses 32 to 34, we read that a promise was made to their ancestors, and has been fulfilled in the time of their children. This promise was written specifically in the second psalm, and quoted with exact phrase saying, "You are my son, today I have become your father." If you trace this quote back to the second Psalms, you can find this in Psalms chapter 2 verse 7. Now, some say that Psalms chapter 2 verse 7 was not referring to Jesus, but to David. Let's presuppose this to be correct for now. If we read Psalms chapter 2 verse 7, David would come out to have been decreed, not promised as God's son. This means that this was already fulfilled in the time of David, and that fulfillment was David himself. But surely, David is one of the ancestors mentioned in Acts chapter 13 verse 32. Yet this verse is telling us that the promise made to their ancestors was only fulfilled in their children, by raising up Jesus in their time. So now, this begs the question. If Psalms chapter 2 verse 7 was referring to David, thus already fulfilled in David, why then in Acts chapter 13 verse 32 says that the promise to their ancestors which includes David was only fulfilled in their time? It would be contradictory if the promise was fulfilled in their ancestor, yet Acts chapter 13 verse 32 is claiming that the promise was fulfilled in the time of their children. For this reason, 2 Psalms has to refer not to any of their ancestor, it has to refer to Jesus. Follow for more. By now, it is clear that Psalms chapter 2 verse 7 was referring to Jesus. Now, as I have mentioned in my previous videos, this verse was a decree that happened in the past, and in that verse, that decree was being retold through the mouth of David as a promise to be fulfilled in a later time. This means that the Son was destined to be begotten twice. This is the reason why in Hebrews chapter 1 verses 5 to 6, it was repeated saying, "Or again, I will be his father, and he will be my son." And again, when God brings his firstborn into the world. And so it came to pass, we read in Acts chapter 13 verses 32 to 33 that it was fulfilled by raising up Jesus, or in his resurrection. It was here that this decree was repeated and fulfilled. But why on his resurrection? Why not on his human birth? The answer is that his human birth was begotten by a woman, but it was in the resurrection that he was begotten by God, because it was here that his incorruptible body was born, as the verse says, "Today I have begotten you." Comment, like, share and follow for more. Subscribe also to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.